Hello, moms. I wanted to jump on and just do a quick little Facebook Live, and because it is Mother's Day, and I know all of you are amazing moms, and so I wanted just to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day. I hope you're doing something wonderful for the day, and you're spending time with your daughter, or if you have sons, just, whoever you're spending your day with, your family. I just hope you're having a fabulous day. I wanted to share something that happened yesterday. So yesterday, I had been wanting to see the movie I Feel Pretty. I don't know if any of you have already seen it, but it came out several weeks ago. And I had been wanting to see it for so long, but I've been so busy. I've just been putting it off and putting it off. So yesterday morning, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go see this movie. I've been dying to see it. So I went to the early movie. I think it started at 10:20. So there was nobody in the theater. I think it was me and there were two other people in the theater. And I had heard good things about the movie, and of course I think the lead actress's name is Amy Schumer. I think that's her last name, and she is hilarious. But this movie was really powerful, and not just the oh my god, that's so funny kind of movie, but it really spoke to me, and I wanted to share this with all of you. So, and I don't want to, I'm not going to ruin the movie because, I don't know if some of you haven't seen it and you're still going to see it. I'm not going to tell you what happens in the movie, but I did want to share with you some awareness and, that I had while I was watching the movie. And, to be quite honest, yes, I was laughing a lot in the movie, but there were times that I started crying, a lot. And then there was one time in the movie where I was laughing and then I started crying at the same time. And I don't know if I've ever done it. It wasn't that I was laughing so hard I was crying. That wasn't it. I was laughing, but then I was getting emotional, not from the laughing, but because what I was seeing spoke to me. So I'm laughing and then I'm crying at the same time. And I'm like, oh my God. So let me talk about this. And I know, I wrote here, I feel pretty, therefore I am pretty. And I really want to talk about this because, self-esteem is such a big thing that, it's become such an epidemic of girls not loving themselves, having poor self-esteem. It happens to so many girls, and this can be affecting your daughters or your daughters. So I really want to get into this. So if I feel pretty, therefore I am pretty, because whatever we think about ourselves becomes our reality. So we live from this place of if I feel pretty, therefore I'm going to be confident. I'm going to believe in myself, right? But let's flip it. If I were to say I feel ugly, then how am I going to show up in the world? And I think this was one of the key pieces in this movie, I Feel Pretty, because once she felt pretty and you saw, when she didn't feel pretty and how, kind of she went about her life, and that it's not only her not feeling pretty, it's her not believing in herself. And it affects so many aspects of someone's life when they don't feel pretty, when they don't feel confident, when they don't believe in themselves. It affects everything. So it was really interesting when she started to feel pretty, and just her whole world expanded. And she didn't care what people thought of her, because, Amy Schumer, she's not a stereotypical, beautiful, I think she's beautiful, and I'm sure a lot of you think she's beautiful, but she's not the stereotypical actress that's super thin and, that, model type figure or whatever. But I loved what the movie was saying, because you don't need to be that way in order to feel pretty. And I really want to get this across, is that so many girls and so many of your daughters probably have this distorted perception of reality. It really is a distorted perception of reality to think that they're anything other than beautiful, because every single girl out there, including your daughters, they're all beautiful. But when they don't believe it, it's not true. I mean, they're believing a lie to think anything other than I am. When they feel that they are pretty, when they feel that they are beautiful, that is the truth of who they are. And when they believe the lies that go on in here saying, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm not worthy, all of that stuff, those are lies. So, but what happens is poor self-esteem becomes like an addiction. It becomes if your daughter feels not pretty, she doesn't believe in herself, and let's say she's felt this way for a number of years, this starts to become her natural state of being. And once it becomes her natural state of being, it becomes like an unconscious addiction. And it's not the easiest to change overnight. And that is why it is so important to have practices, to have rituals. And I'm talking daily practices, daily rituals, because learning to love yourself, for your daughter to learn to love herself, this is not you do it one time. I've said this before in this group. It's not do it one time and, oh my God, I love myself. It doesn't work like that. It is every day practicing, the rituals, habits, mindset work. So your daughter can really start to believe in herself, so she can start feeling beautiful and confident and smart and like she's enough and like she matters. I mean, but it takes action. It takes action steps for your daughter to feel that for herself. Because another thing I've said in this group before, it doesn't matter if you're, saying to your daughter, you're so beautiful, I believe in you, I love you so much. And then you're like wondering, like, why can't my daughter see this for herself? I don't understand. It's because even though it's great that you're saying these things to your daughter has to feel it inside. Everyone can tell her how great she is, how beautiful she is, but if she doesn't feel it right in here in the depths of her heart, it's not going to sink in for her. And so I want to let you know that, for me, I do this work daily. This is not something that I just teach, to the girls that I work with. I do this for myself, because let me tell you why. The second that I stop practicing my self-love, the second that I stop working on myself is the second that I go back to how I used to be. And I used to have poor self-esteem. I used to not believe in myself. I used to feel like I wasn't pretty, that I didn't matter, that what I had to say didn't make a difference. I believed all of that. So that's not who I am right now, but let me tell you how I changed my life and the perception of who I saw myself to be. It's because of the continuous work that I do for myself, and it doesn't stop. Every day I continue to do this work. So, it was really interesting going back to this movie, I Feel Pretty. There were parts, like I said, where I was crying, because some of the ways that the lead actress was behaving when she didn't feel pretty and she didn't believe in herself, it got me really emotional, because I remembered how it used to feel to be that way. And sometimes, when you're in it, so for your daughter, when she's in the poor self-esteem, it just seems natural and normal. And it's like hard to see anything different. But it's like when you see someone else behaving that way, or you see someone else acting that way. So like when I was watching the movie and I saw the lead actress, treating herself poorly or not believing in herself, it resonated with me because that was my natural state of being for so long before I changed my life. So, and I want to give an example. I remember years ago, this is before I started working on myself and before I started working on my confidence and self-esteem, I remember I was over a friend's house and we were getting ready to go out. And I was all ready to go, but my friend was getting ready and she was like doing her hair, and I was in the other room, and I remember hearing her having a really hard time getting ready. And she was saying things out loud like, "Ugh, like I'm not pretty, my hair looks bad. I feel ugly." Like she was saying these things out loud. And it hit me right here because what was going on, it was a reflection of how I used to be. And at that time, because this was years ago, that was actually how I was. And so when I saw it being reflected to me, it was like a mirror. My friend she was a mirror of how I was treating myself. And it was like, whoa, I can't believe I'm like that. That's what I'm doing. And sometimes we can't see how crazy, we're being with ourselves by thinking that we're anything other than beautiful, by thinking that we're anything other than amazing, that we're, we believe all of these lies and they're not true. And so I remember, when I was seeing my friend, really just tear herself down, it hit a chord with me because that's how I used to be. So, like I said before, it really, this whole aspect of self-love and learning to love oneself and feeling pretty and feeling beautiful and feeling confident and like you can believe in yourself. I know all of you want that for your daughters. It takes practice. It takes, developing habits and rituals daily, because like I said before, this work doesn't stop. This is stuff that I do every single day because I know that I'm worth it, and feeling this way, how I feel right now, this is how I want to continue to feel, right? So, I just want to offer this to all of you. If you are seeing your daughter, if she's struggling with her self-esteem, if you hear her saying these comments that are like tearing her down, if nothing is done, then it could continue, and it's only going to get worse as she gets older. Because let me tell you, like when I was in high school, my self-esteem was really poor, but it got worse as I got older. So it's really important that your daughter starts working on this now, because you don't want it to get worse. You want her to start loving herself, learning to love herself. So if this is resonating with you, I'm going to leave under the comment section, I will leave a link that if you want to book a call with me, you can just click on that. It'll go to my calendar. We can, talk about what's going on with your daughter, and and if this is something, that you want to move forward with, and maybe your daughter would like some coaching, then I think that this would be amazing for your daughter. Because let me tell you, I have had many coaches that have worked with me to get me to where I am right now. So coaches are amazing because they help you move farther quicker than you could on your own. So I'm just putting it out there. If this is resonating with you and you would like to book a call with me so we can talk more about this, I'll leave my link below and you can just click on it and book a call. So that's all I wanted to say. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Mother's Day. And if you haven't seen I Feel Pretty, please go see it. It's not only hilarious, but it's also, you know, the story is just, it just really makes you think how you're showing up in the world, not only for your daughter, but for yourself. And when we can change our perception of reality for how we see ourselves, and we can change that to like who we really are, our whole world changes. And it's pretty miraculous. And I know for myself, when I started seeing myself in a different light, things started changing in my life as well. So this stuff works, but it starts with here. It starts in the mindset, how your daughter feels about herself. That is everything, everything. So I gotta go because I'm going over to my parents' house and we're gonna celebrate Mother's Day. And I got her a little present, but I still have to get her a card. So I have to stop and get her a little card and maybe some flowers along the way. But yeah, happy Mother's Day to everyone. I'm sending you all lots of love, hugs, kisses, and just have a beautiful day. And yeah, I will talk to you all soon. Take care. Bye.